The number's a bit faded. Is this 2B? Or is it not 2B? That's the question.
Oh, Bill, that was just something special.
Call it a hunch, but I don't think she'll have anything new to say.
I think we're done with this place.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
Because they moved away. Hello, gentlemen.
Remember, a black eye is not a badge of honor. Anyone picking a fight will be dismissed immediately. Well, that's hardly any fun, is it?
Herman. Hansom cab.
A good old reliable hansom cab. Nothing fancy, just gets you from point A to point B. The way it should be.
All right. Calm down, Bill.
Good evening.
Oh, it's you again. Small world.
Indeed. Mr. Shaw, was it?
That's right. So, what brings you around to the cab depot?
I wanted to ask you some questions if you can spare some time.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Mr. Shaw, we meet again.
Did you know Reggie Willingham?
Reggie? Sure, I knew him. Well, just as rather I didn't.
Oh? Why do you say that?
The man was a bore, a scoundrel, a no-good bounder.
I wish he would tell us how he really felt.
Only reason they kept him on here was because he was a good driver.
So it's fair to say you didn't like him?
Nobody did. When I heard he'd been killed, wasn't exactly a surprise. If I treated people the way he did, I'd surely have a lot of enemies.
So what did he do to deserve this early demise?
Could you elaborate a bit on Mr. Willingham's behavior?
Oh, he was a proud one. Thought he was God's gift to mankind. Always strutting around, bragging about how many gratuities he'd earned, or how many fist fights he'd won against drivers from Phillips. He had the shortest fuse I've ever seen, too. Just looking at him the wrong way could set him off. I'd always laugh to myself when he'd brag about how many women he'd had in a week.
Why is that?
Because it was obvious he had to pay for the pleasure. A man like that isn't going to get a woman otherwise. I may not be a hit with the ladies, but even I know that being a bastard is a surefire way to drive 'em off.
Preach, brother. Be nice to your prostitutes.
Are you familiar with the so-called Justice Killer?
I've heard a few rumors here and there about some murders in the Chum, but I haven't paid 'em much attention. There's plenty for me to worry about in my own life.
Aren't you concerned for your safety?
Not really. Well, I haven't done anything wrong. So if this loony's going around doing justice, it's nothing for me to worry about.
He makes a good point. I think we need to get a better idea of what exactly these victims did to incur the wrath of our killer.
Yeah, we don't really see the connection between these people and what they did.
What can you tell me about Coulson Cabs?
Not a bad place, really. Only problem is the number of people always coming here for work. Lots of folks think driving a cab is an easy job that anyone can do, but that's not the case. You need to know this city like the back of your hand, and it helps to know how to drive. So we get lots of fellas starting here who don't have the slightest clue what they're doing. They don't last long.
What about the automated cabs? Are those a problem for you?
I prefer not to think about those. Coulson said he's got no plans to replace his fleet, so it's all that matters to me.
Automated cabs. Interesting.
Are you still living in Pumblechook Place?
I am, sir. Things are more or less the same, except Roger's not around anymore. Suppose he must have moved on. Hope he isn't planning on coming back, because his paintings made for great kindling.
Oh, I have a feeling he won't be.
Yeah, we took care of that.
Have you had any trouble from the Redites?
No, sir. They got no reason to give us any trouble, what with us still using horse-drawn cabs. I imagine the fellas over at Phillips have, but I can't be certain. We don't deal with those lot if we can help it.
I don't think interviewing anyone from Phillips would be a good use of our time. Our priority is finding the Justice Killer, after all.
I appreciate your time, sir.
Pleasure's all mine.
So we're not really learning much about the guy that got killed, except that he had it coming.
I thought about a career as a mechanic once. Glad I chose police work. Way less messy.
Said the man that splattered all over the pavement. hilarious, Bill.
Remember, a black eye is not a badge of honor. Well, that's hardly...
We will be back, Herman. Oh, I guess we won't. The location disappeared. But not the other ones. Interesting. Let's go to the police station. I think it's the only place we haven't visited yet.
Fordham, how goes the investigation?
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader.
Does he have like short hair on one side and long hair on the other? That's cool. Respect.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water.
Secret water.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of... The rumor was always... Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Every book and... You should bump into the side when he's not...
Well, not much to inspect in this place, so let's talk to him.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
Oh, he even looks all sour and pruny.
What information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
Oh, I see how this is gonna go.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was where we stood. While I doubt this discovery will do much to aid in tracking him down, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
You're willing to give me the benefit of the doubt. We'll see about that.
Do you know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of Parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland. From the reports I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method. Then again, since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Count on it. What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
You have to wonder how much more thorough the department's investigations would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
Fair enough.
So I see the department is still running like a well-oiled machine.
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Oh, the woman that stole the baby.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Oh, okay. So I need to go to her trial?
Have you got any information on the Redites?
The Redites? That ridiculous gang of troublemakers? Yes, I have some information. What's your interest in them?
A witness is refusing to speak with me unless I can figure out who sabotaged his iron mill.
I see. All I can offer is a list of names of known Redites along with their last known whereabouts. But I remind you that you only have until tomorrow afternoon before this indulgence expires, and I throw you in jail. This seems like a waste of time.
That's my decision to make.
Very well. I'll give you the list when you're ready to leave.
Kinda seems like you're not giving me enough time to solve this when your own detectives had months to find out nothing.
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible is standing before me. Even if you manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be it.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
I guess that's fair, Bill. Voice in my head.
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Oh, I get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do, and I'd honestly rather not know about them.
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes, time is not on your side, Fordham.
That's only because of you.
Here you are. This is the most recent list of known Redites.
This is a lot of names. If we're going to track down this Saboteur, it might be best to retire to a more tranquil environment. Fancy a trip back to Upton's?
Sure thing. Alright, Chief Snelling. So I have to go to this testimony thing as well. Oh yeah, courthouse. What should I do first? Maybe I should save. I don't want to miss it. Let's go to the courthouse next, because it was within the hour.
Remind me, Miles, why are we here again? Is this for your own personal satisfaction, or did you expect her to have some useful information?
Shh. Mrs. Linda Walker, you stand accused of kidnapping Charles Harris. What have you to say in your defense?
I had to see if I could speak with my son Alexander again.
Yes. According to your initial statement, you seem to believe that the Harris child is the reincarnation of your own deceased son.
All the evidence was there. I thought it had to be him.
And in regards to the execution of your plan, you secretly administered a soporific drug to your friend and the Harris family nanny, Mrs. Henrietta Davis? Is that correct?
Yes. I felt terrible about doing it, but there was no other way.
According to your journal, you used a mixture of chamomile and valerian, instructed by a Samuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Samuel is a friend of mine. He works at the docks, and he knows all about plants. I asked him what the best combination of herbs would be to put someone in a deep sleep.
So it was your idea, and not his?
Yes, that's right. He only told me about the plants. He's quite the expert. Why, you should see his collection of Easter lilies.
Did she just say what I think she said?
Now then, let's turn our attention to the night in question.
Interesting. This Samuel person might be worth looking into, although we can't waste time searching the docks with just a first name. I'd make a note of it, just in case it becomes relevant later.
Oh, it will.
Alright, I've had enough of this courtroom. Let's get back out there. Time's running out.
So we're looking for a Samuel, who's an expert on plants and works at the docks. Interesting. Okay, with that information, let's go to Upton's, because that's what Bill suggested.
Right, this should be a quiet enough spot to concentrate on finding that Saboteur. I just hope Upton doesn't mind you turning her parlor into your own personal study.
I'm sure she'll have no objection. Now, let's have a look at that list again.
Okay. Clovis Sullivan. Suspect in 3 instances of sabotage.
I think we can rule out Mr. Sullivan as a suspect. He's Western Vespuccia's problem now. Unless Mr. McKee has escaped from prison, which I highly doubt, he's not our man.
15-year sentence. Yeah. 2 instances.
Paris Wilson. Those initials don't match the ones on the letter. I don't think this is our suspect.
I can't recall what the initials were. What were they? PF. We have no one called PF. Huh.
If dead men could cause explosions, let's just say things would be a lot different. This clearly isn't the right suspect. Peyton Ferguson. The initials match those on the letter we got at the Lamplight depot.
I'd say it's our best bet.
Oh, I read it as Phaeton Ferguson.
Lucian Donaldson. Those initials don't match the ones on the letter. I don't think this person is our suspect.
So it's Peyton. Got him. Now what? We go out and find them? Oh, shoot. That is a lot of extra addresses. Let's start with the most likely one.
Well, well, who's this lovely specimen?
Allow me to introduce Peyton Ferguson, known Redite and prime suspect in a sabotage at the Thorbomb Ironworks. I picked him up and brought him straight to you.
Ooh, a saboteur. Just leave him to me and I'll make him feel right at home.
Please find the Justice Killer soon, Miles. Being Giles' prisoner is not my idea of a good time.
Right. I'll leave you to it then.
Oh, so we were just choosing between them. Well, I think we chose well. It's Peyton. Who would be stupid enough to sign it with their initials? I mean, come on. But the Ironworks should be available now.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
I found the person responsible for sabotaging your iron mill.
Oh yeah?
His name is Peyton Ferguson. He's currently at the Bow Street Jail.
Hey, not bad. I owe you one, detective.
He certainly does.
And you will cash on it immediately.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland?
Good worker. Mostly kept to himself. Real shame what happened to him.
Oh, that's it?
Do you know if anyone here disliked Kirkland?
Enough to want him dead? Nah. There's the occasional scrap, but everyone around here gets along for the most part. Like I said, he mostly kept to himself. Head down, didn't bother nobody.
Do you know what he did outside of work?
No idea. I only ever saw him here.
You said Kirkland was a good worker?
One of my best. I knew something was up when he didn't show up for a couple of days. Don't think he'd ever missed work before.
Did he have any personal effects he kept here, or an area where he worked?
He had a cabinet downstairs in the workers' changing area, just like everyone else. You can go take a look if you want, but I don't think the police found anything. Kirkland's cabinet is the third one from the left.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
He seems rather upset over the current circumstances. Probably best not to talk to him unless it's absolutely necessary.
All right.
At least having a heater down here manages to keep things warm. I remember the changing rooms at the police station were always ice cold.
So what can I take from here? Can I join people in the showers?
Sounds like there's someone in there. If you weren't so bashful, I'd suggest joining in. You could certainly use it.
You'd like that, Bill. But we're on a case. We're on a limited time case. Gents, please stop shaving in the showers. The cleaning lady almost tore my head off. She says the drains can't take all the hair. Mims. Well, he's right. Men are hairy. Men are super hairy.
Just another unmarked storage cabinet.
Oh. Oh, okay. Huh. I didn't notice numbers around, so I think I have 2 of them down. It's a 7, and this one had some dots or lines on it, so it's a 3. And it's a 7-3 maybe, something. And I don't see anything else that might be a number. I might need a little help on this. Let's see. Right, we're still doing the Ruby thing. We don't know much about her. Speak to the serving girl. Didn't I do that? I guess I'll go speak to her again. Find out more about Reggie. Right. Yeah. Mims, you need to help me with this. Don't know.
Mr. Mims, A word, if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Would you happen to know the combination to Hannibal Kirkland's cabinet?
No. Every worker sets their own combination, and I don't ask for it.
What happens if they were to forget it?
Well, I have them come up with some sort of personal reminder and keep those in a file.
And do you still have Kirkland's?
I'll give it to you as soon as we're done talking.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
Give me the stuff.
There you go. You're lucky I only clean out my files at the end of the year.
See, I always told you I wasn't disorganized. Just preparing for the future.
The shipwreck, red and white, the sign. Red and white. I get the shipwreck. What is the red and white?
This place sure is big. I wonder if they actually make anything useful.
Okay, what is red and white? There's none of that in here. This must be the sign. And the shipwreck. What's red and white? I'm not gonna go in the shower. Oh. Is it this? What's that number? A 9, maybe? That's red and white, but I can hardly tell what number that is. And hopefully it's in the same order as the reminder. So 7, and then 9, and then 3. Yeah.
Empty. That's disappointing.
Aw.
Not completely empty. There's something at the bottom here.
Oh, a whorehouse. The Gilded Lily. 12 refined ladies in waiting. All sizes, petite, skinny, buxom. Present this handbill and 50 shillings for the normal 1 crown treat. Okay, good times.
It seems our friend Hannibal had a few extracurricular activities after all.
Damn
Gilded
straight.
Lily, huh? That's a bit suspicious.
Who knew such a pretty flower could cause such an inconvenience? The answer to that question is me, in case you were wondering. Flowers bring nothing but trouble. Trouble and snot.
That's enough, Bill. We need to get a move on.
Alrighty then. To the whorehouse. And yes, how very suspicious that it's a lily. Maybe our Samuel friend will be there.
Well, hello there, handsome. Welcome to the Gilded Lily. Come over here and tell me what kind of pleasure it is you're looking for.
Does she have an eye patch?
I'm afraid I'm here for business, not pleasure.
Oh, well that's just a shame, isn't it?
I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. And you are?
You can call me Seraphina. I'm in charge of this establishment.
You won't mind if I take a look around or ask you some questions?
As long as you keep to the front room, you can do whatever you like. Beyond that, you're gonna have to pay.
Maybe it's best if you leave this part out when you tell Adelaide about the case later.
Maybe.
I'm not too familiar with places like this, but I believe that's where the fun happens, if you've got the crowns for it. Oh, my virgin eyes! You certainly won't find art like that at the National Gallery.
I know, it's very scandalous.
What a charming statue. Wouldn't she get cold fetching water in that state of undress?
Oh, I thought she was holding a pigeon.
May I ask you a few questions, Seraphina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Do you do pirate, cosplay, sex stuff?
Do you know anything about the Justice Killer?
I'm afraid not, dear. I don't normally associate with killers.
Are you sure you don't know anything? He's the reason I'm here.
Well, I can assure you I know nothing about your murderer. If the trail has led you here, it's surely just coincidence.
Yeah, she seems awfully certain of that. It's a good thing we don't believe in coincidences.
Did you have a man named Hannibal Kirkland as a client?
I make it my practice not to learn the names of any customers here, Mr. Fordham. I hate to disappoint anyone who comes through those doors, but discretion is paramount in this business.
Well, at least you know you can trust these women with your secrets.
Do you by chance have a girl named Ruby in your service?
Ruby? Yes, she's one of our newest girls. And she's not in any sort of trouble, is she?
Not at all. I merely wanted to speak with her.
Well, she should be in the dressing room. If you go through the rear door and follow the hallway down, it's the last door on the left.
I see. Thank you. Did you know Percival McDonough?
The politician? I knew who he was, but never met him personally.
He was seeing Ruby, wasn't he?
Not regularly, no. In fact, his first and only visit with her was yesterday.
Were you aware that he was murdered shortly after that?
I had no idea. How terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. This means she's lost a potential repeat customer.
This is a lovely establishment you have, and such a nice name, too.
Thank you, my dear. It wasn't always called the Gilded Lily, though. We were formerly known as Le Maison de Tolérance.
What inspired the name change?
Ah, that's a bit of a long story. Not worth getting into.
How long have you been operating?
Going on 25 years. Business has been good. There's a reason this is the world's oldest profession, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. It's like hairdressers. And undertakers.
So, how did you get into this business?
Like many of the other girls, it was the best of some bad options. I had no interest in being beholden to a husband. I may be a fallen woman, but better to fly and fall than to have your wings clipped.
Do you enjoy the work?
It's a job like any other, Mr. Fordham. There are good days and there are bad days. But my girls are my family. We take care of each other. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Looks nervous. Wonder if this is his first time.
So let's talk to Ruby.
Oh, hello. Did Serafina send you back here for me?
Yes, but not for the usual reasons. I'm a private investigator. My name is Miles Fordham. Ruby, I presume?
Yes, that's right. What do you need from me?
Just some information.
Well, I'll do my best.
The girls here don't get much in the way of a dressing area. Still, something is better than nothing, I suppose.
It's not a great-looking room. Not at all.
Lily, 1809 to 1843. I wonder what happened to her.
Well, died young. Or maybe not. For that kind of age.
No lilies? Seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Her name is Lily. The place is the Gilded Lily. Lily.
That's a nice locket for being such a cheap piece of jewelry.
Oh, I stole something. I don't know if I should have. I'm being very naughty.
I'm guessing this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings. Doesn't seem to offer much in the way of privacy. I'm guessing this...
Well, I've done some stealing now.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
Oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
No, I don't believe so.
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 victims, mostly men from Chumley.
Oh dear, that sounds dreadful. Is that what you're investigating?
It is. Do you know anyone who might have some information about him?
I don't. Sorry I can't be more help.
You know, the man you were with the other night, he's also dead. Where is that train? Percival.
You met recently with Percival McDonough, is that right?
How did you know that? I thought he was meant to keep those sorts of things private.
He had your name written down in his calendar.
And you found me here based on that?
Well, I am a detective.
Suppose that's true. Anyway, yes. I only met him the one time. There wasn't anything remarkable about him. After we finished, he got all emotional about his wife, but I could hardly understand what he was saying. I hate it when they cry afterwards.
Did you ever have a client named Hannibal Kirkland?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. Sorry.
Do you know Ennis Bowditch?
Bowditch? Didn't think I'd be hearing that name again.
As I understand it, he was seeing your friend, the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle. She broke things off with him a while ago, though.
So she said. Did you ever know him to be violent?
Violent? The bastard nearly beat Annabelle's brains in once. Why do you think she chucked him?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
At least she had the good sense to get rid of him.
Perhaps we should go confirm this newly discovered fact with Annabelle.
Yeah, definitely. This is new information that she didn't want to tell us in particular.
Did you ever meet a man named Burley Cause?
No, I never met him, but one of the other girls had him as a client. I remember because she was laughing about his name. He wasn't very burly, if you get my meaning.
Right.
Right.
Are you familiar with Reggie Willingham?
Oh, him? He had to be banned from here.
Really? What happened?
He got way too rough with one of the girls. She ended up shy a few teeth.
Dear Lord.
What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently he wasn't too fond of boundaries. Good riddance to him, I say.
Were you aware that Mr. Willingham was murdered?
What? Oh, well, now I feel terrible for saying good riddance. I meant...
I think I know what you meant, Ruby. It's fine.
Is it me, or is there a pattern starting to
Yeah.
emerge here?
They have all been here.
That's a rather nice portrait. Who's the subject?
Oh, that's Lily. Before my time. Serafina knows loads about her. Even changed the name of this place in her honor. You might try asking her if you want to know more.
I actually wanted to hear the long story, but she didn't want to tell me.
How long have you been in this business?
Only a few months now. Used to work at a kitchen, but then they brought in some of those new automated machines.
Ah, sadly familiar story.
At least this profession isn't in any danger of being made obsolete by steam tech. Cold steel can never replace a warm touch.
Let's just hope that's true.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Well, you take care of yourself.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may.
Could you tell me about the young lady in the portrait hanging in the back room?
Ah, that's Lily Peterson. She was a wonderful woman and a great friend.
What happened to her?
It's a rather tragic story, Mr. Fordham. I'd rather not go into too much detail. The short version is this. She was with a client who got very carried away. She was able to defend herself enough to mortally wound the bastard, but the damage had already been done. The girls and I decided among us that we would rename this establishment in her honor. Some days it's still hard to believe she's gone. I haven't even been able to get rid of her box of things.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Serafina.
Thank you, dear. It was especially awful given Lily's past. Her sister died at the hands of her own husband some 16 years before. Some people just can't escape tragedy, no matter how far they run.
Huh. Something tells me these deaths are significant. It might be a good idea to learn as much as we can about Lily Peterson.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
But who else to ask, if not Serafina? Ruby didn't know much because it was before her time, and she's the best person to talk to.
Looks nervous.
Let's talk to Ruby again. I'm not satisfied. And also, maybe I can take her possessions. From here, somewhere.
I'm guessing this is where most of the...
So, Ruby,
Yes?
Serafina told me that Lily's possessions are still here. Do you know where they're kept?
Yeah, in that cabinet over there. Lily had a special place in Serafina's heart. I don't think she has the nerve to get rid of this stuff yet.
Do you think I could take a look through it?
Oh, I don't know.
Serafina never has to know. I promise I'll only look, not touch.
If I had a crown for every time I'd heard that. But, alright. As long as you keep your word and don't take anything from the box, I'll let you have a look. I'll get it for you after.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love. There you go. All yours for the browsing.
Thanks, Ruby, but why don't we just talk to Serafina about it? She wouldn't mind. Actually, I think she'll mind that we're going behind her back. I kind of feel guilty. Oh well.
These don't look too valuable. A cheap ring. Must have had sentimental value because otherwise there'd be no point in keeping it. Nice scarf, impressively clean too. Lily clearly took care of her things. Let's see what we have in here.
Dear Miss Peterson, while it is unorthodox practice for a detective to maintain contact with the relatives of a victim after the case has been closed, your story has touched me on a deeper level. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you during this difficult time. I understand you've decided to take it upon yourself to raise your sister's son. For that I commend and respect your strength of will. Oh, Detective Lester Barnett. So the killer is Lily's son. Lily's sister's son.
One of 3 buttons with an engraved lily on it. I wonder if they're just decorative or if they have some other purpose.
Oh, well, now I clicked on them. I get the feeling that this is gonna open up. Well, we did get a code. 313-2213. Let's try that. 313-2213. Aha!
Well now, I think we just found ourselves a bonanza.
Aunt Lily. I tried. God knows I tried. But I couldn't let that bastard get away with his crime. I refuse to watch you suffer the same fate as Mother. Justice had to be done. I've snuffed out his life, just as he tried to choke yours out of your body. The blood that stains this letter is his. Oh shit. As I write this, you're in a hospital bed, unconscious. I don't know if I'll ever be able to speak with you again, but I'm placing this letter in your secret place in the hope that you will someday be able to read it. I guess not. In the meantime, I've discovered my true calling. I must dispense justice to those who harm innocent women. I have seen the cycle of violence go on for far too long. I have lost both my mother and aunt to violent men, and I must stop this from happening again. I spoke with Gloria, and she told me she had been violated by one of her clients, an ironworker named Hannibal Kirkland. I will observe his habits until the time is nigh to strike. After he is taken care of, I will find others and do the same until this wretched city is scrubbed clean. I need to send a message. Love to something. But what about the politician? He didn't harm Ruby. He just felt bad about cheating on his wife. Now maybe that counts for the justice killer, because he did something naughty. Oh yeah, well it makes sense actually, because he hurt a woman, he hurt his wife.
So, Ruby,
Yes?
I found this letter inside a secret compartment in the box belonging to Lily. Do you know anything about it?
I thought we agreed you wouldn't take anything from there.
This is a special case. This letter's from Lily's nephew, the justice killer.
Oh, I see. Look, I've only been here a short time. I don't know anything about Lily or any killers or anything, I swear.
You know, I think she's telling the truth.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
I believe you. But I want to talk to Serafina.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Serafina, what can you tell me about Lily's nephew?
Her nephew? I didn't know she had a nephew. Lily didn't talk much about her family, as you can probably imagine.
You're not lying to me, are you?
I have nothing to hide from you.
Except maybe the truth. But I don't think we have what we need to make her talk. If there even is anything that would make her talk.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
So she's not telling me everything. Why isn't she telling me everything? Do I need to take something from here? Because I can't. We need to learn about Lily's murder. Oh yeah, and I need to go back to the coffee house.
I think we're good on questions for now. We've exhausted her knowledge for now, I think.
Okay. So do I need to get something to make her talk, or she really doesn't know? I'm watching you, Serafina. Hey, so why did you sugarcoat the brutal beatings that you got?
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I spoke with your friend Ruby. She told me something quite disturbing.
What was that?
She said that Ennis had fits of violence, and that the reason you ended your relationship was because he hit you.
Why would she tell you that? That was my secret to tell, not hers. I thought we were friends.
It's obvious she cares about you and was worried about your well-being.
Well, it hardly matters now Ennis is dead, does it?
But is it true? Did he raise his hand to you?
Yes. It is true. As I said before, something changed in him. I have no idea what, but I had to get away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. I'm sorry you had to experience what you did. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
She's busy. No point bothering her if we've...
Okay, so who can we ask about Lily? Lily! Why is my voice breaking?
Asleep at a coffee house.
I guess it's gonna be... yeah, the police station. Doesn't make sense anywhere else.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
Do you recall a murder involving a woman named Lily Peterson about a year ago?
Lily Peterson? Yes, that name does sound familiar. Of course, the prostitute murder. That wasn't one of yours, was it?
No, it wasn't. Do you remember any other details?
As I recall, the woman was beaten severely by one of her clients, who escaped and was never found. She died a few days later in the hospital. How is this of any relevance, exactly?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Did you know that Lily Peterson had a sister who was killed some 16 years ago?
I didn't. Are you suggesting that's related somehow?
I think it is. Would you be able to get me the case file?
What was the victim's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
That might be a bit more difficult, unless you can give me more details.
I'll try my best.
Very well. What year did you say the case was from?
I have no idea. Wait, I have to do some maths. And watch some previous video. I have no idea. I can't recall what year we're in. It's either... well, what did the newspaper say? What year was it? God damn it. It was either 1844 or 45. Minus 16 years. That would be 1829 or 1828, so I'm gonna go with this one.
It was 16 years ago, so 1828.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
Barnett something. Reginald Snelling.
It was Lester Barnett.
Right. He was quite active in those days. And what was the victim's official cause of death?
Strangled, I think?
It was strangulation.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything. Ah, yes. Here we are. This should be a match. Have a look.
So we have our killer's last name and possible first name, assuming he's the same man Linda Walker talked about. Perhaps it's time to ask about him at the docks.
Police were notified after a neighbor heard shouting and general commotion from the Collins apartment, so it's potentially Samuel Collins, the murderer. Upon arrival, they found Daisy Collins in the living room with clear signs of strangulation. In the bedroom, they found Liam Collins, the apparent victim of a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Okay. Searching the rest of the apartment, officers found a young child, approximately 4 years old, hiding in a closet. The child did not respond to questions and was visibly upset. Detective Lester Barnett conducted an investigation and determined that Liam Collins attacked his wife, likely under the influence of alcohol, and accidentally caused her death. Upon realizing what he had done, he used his own pistol to take his life. The child has been taken into police custody and is awaiting transfer to an orphanage if no next of kin is located. I see. Thanks, Chief. I feel we are nearing the end of the game.
You again? What do you need?
More information.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Everybody's so grunty.
Do you know a man named Samuel Collins?
Yes, I do. He's one of my workers.
Is he working today?
No, it's his day off. Why do you ask?
I'm very interested in speaking with him. Could you tell me where I can find him?
I don't just give out information on my men to strangers. What reason do you have for wanting to speak with him?
I believe he may be involved in some serious crimes.
Is that right? And what are these serious crimes, exactly?
Well, he stole from one of your customers. He's stealing from you. I don't want to tell him that he's the justice killer because he cares about money. He stole from one of your customers, yeah.
I believe he stole from one of your customers.
What? From who?
The Hanbrook Flower Shop. He stole several orders of Easter lilies.
The Hanbrook Flower Shop? They're not one of my customers. I only sell to wholesalers.
A minor detail. The point remains that your man's a burglar.
That's quite a serious claim. What proof do you have?
You can hear it straight from the man who works at the shop that was burgled.
Well, where is he then?
Wait here just a moment.
Trevor can confirm it.
Excuse me, Mr. Hastings?
What is it, Detective? As I said, I'm rather busy.
I was wondering if you might help me with something. Could you please tell the shipping manager over there about the burglaries at your flower shop?
Certainly.
Go ahead, Mr. Hastings.
Right. It all started around 5 months ago. And he didn't come around again after that night.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. That'll do. Now are you convinced?
Fine. I hate to lose 2 of my men in such a short amount of time, but if he's done wrong, I can't just stand by. Samuel lives in Chumley, at 210 Abattoir Row.
Thank you, sir. You may have just saved several lives.
But I'm going to have to spend several crowns in order to get things back to normal. Now, if you'll excuse me...
So, now we know where the killer lives. I'll just save here and talk to Snelling again and see if he says something about this. Or if we just go and confront the killer. Samuel Collins' residence, but police station first.
No need to talk to him just now. Thank God.
I could use some backup though. I mean, this man has killed multiple times. Oh boy.
Samuel Collins?
Yes?
I'm Terrence Shackley from the Labor Department. I wanted to ask you some questions about your employer at the docks.
Oh, of course. Please come in.
There's a picture of Lily.
I'm sorry. What did you say your name was?
Terrence Shackley? But it's not my real name. I just used it to get into your apartment. I believe you did something similar at the Houses of Parliament with Mr. McDonough.
So, you're Fordham. The one who was snooping around at the Gilded Lily.
Indeed. We meet again, Mr. Collins.
Of course. The rooftop. I'm sorry about what happened to your partner. It wasn't my intent for him to die. Oh, he's sorry, is he? Is that supposed to make things better? I suppose this encounter was inevitable. But I admit I didn't think it would be this soon. So, you're here to arrest me.
Yeah, kinda.
That's right. Samuel Collins, I'm placing you under arrest for the murders of Percival McDonough, Burley Cause, Ennis Bowditch, Hannibal Kirkland, and Reggie Willingham.
I told you once already, Mr. Fordham. I'm not going to jail. Every one of those men deserved what they got.
Well, you kind of killed Bill as well. You pushed him.
Why do you say that? None of those men killed anyone.
No. What they did was far worse. Inexcusable. Unforgivable. I had to make sure justice was done.
Sure, they were terrible people, but they should have gone to prison and, due process and all that.
I understand your reasons, but that doesn't mean your actions were justified. You need to pay for your crimes, one way or another.
My crimes? What about theirs? If not for me, they would have gotten away with them.
There are other ways of upholding justice, Collins. Ways that don't involve mass murder.
The system is broken. Criminals get away all the time, you know that.
Only too well.
But you comprehend my situation. You understand my reasons for doing what I do.
Understanding is not the same as approval.
But it is the first step.
Is this bastard really suggesting what I think he is?
All I ask is that you allow me to continue my work in peace. You looked the other way once before. You can do it again.
You're right. I did look the other way, and it wound up costing my partner his life. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to just let you keep killing.
Damn right, Miles. This has to end.
Then you leave me no choice.
Fordham, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
So, this is our justice killer?
That's right.
I suppose congratulations are in order. You did well in finding him.
Thank you, Chief Snelling. I'm glad we were finally able to work together.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you weren't so brash as to confront him without notifying me first. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. Now then, I'll go get the other officers so we can lock down the scene and remove the body. Wait here.
Quite a night, eh, Bill? Bill?
He's gone.
Are you there? Bill?
Goodbye, Bill. Oh, it's Bill's tombstone. Leger.
It's good of you to do this, Miles. Do you need some time alone?
If you wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll wait for you over by the sycamores.
So, it's finally over. I have to admit, it's been strange not hearing you all the time anymore. Never in a million years did I think I would actually miss it. But the important thing is you've moved on, and I got what I was looking for. I'm starting up my own private detective agency, you know. Addie and Upton are going to be my partners. It should be interesting, to say the least.
It's awesome.
Oh, that reminds me. I brought you a little something. It's not much, but I thought you might appreciate it. Thank you for all your help, Bill. I truly would have been lost without it.
Bill, wake up. Your grave is on fire.
Bill, wake up! Your grave is on fire! Well, I thought it was funny. Goodbye, old friend. I love you.
I got a couple of achievements which told me that I had a perfect run, and I imagine I got all the cases solved. Yay! So this was Lamplight City, and this was pretty fucking good. I mean, yes, definitely play this, guys. I imagine there's multiple ways to solve the cases. You could declare them unsolvable or accuse someone else, and you probably get loads of different endings, depending on those choices, but there is yet more to see, so you should play this. Fantastic, it was amazing. I hope they make more games like this. I love detective stories, but before my voice starts breaking, I've been the Zen Bear. I'll see you in the next game.
dearest?
Hold on, sorry.
In the middle, see?
God, this bird's annoying.
Cormac's just going to pop inside for a quick putt. God damn it, Barbosa! Get out of me!
The only hotel that comes to mind is the Ballston Arms in... Jesus Christ. But all the victims have been men in Chomsky. Chumley! Shut up! Chumley. That is my new least favorite word. But all the victims have been men in Damn it. Chumley. A woman in the Chumley... I hate Chumley so much.
Come on, there's not a moment to lose. Sorry, I just wanted to make him feel like I'm excited.
How can you tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
How?
One will see you later, and the other will see you in a while.
You're fired.
You're gonna retell that joke, though.
I am.
You know you are.
Mr. Fordham, you mentioned you value discretion. I ask you to please exercise some now. But clearly the drummer next door doesn't value discretion.
Speaking of discretion, a drum set. That's awesome.
Hello, madam. My name's Wow, man. Files Mortem, and I'm a Ibit investigator. Sorry, hold on 2 seconds here.
Pretty soon it'll be debutante. I hate Gascon Grand Dames. It's okay. It's all in my brain. Okay.
Can we do that whole thing again?
Sure.
Is that right, the way you want it, or is it stupid? That's the way I do it.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's nowhere near stupid.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-huh.
She's the LeBron James of the prostitutes. Got it. Cool.
Who knows? Maybe someday I'll have me hand back. It's like a pirate. Have me hand back. Arr. Hi, matey. No more.